Fast forward, mami emo kwaba embrochani so age politics avenue. When you have podcast for us, I train them because make headlines. And a jembre na edibi exomo e wa see any dim ene ahobraxiemu se ene a day di kanya. The share so bit subscribe to the channel. Hit notification bell so share na afia for accounts to answer into me and kebi any dim ni ahobraxiemu be shock say mami emfa wonra eye amanyu semu. Nyina say lawyer Martin Kpebu a private legal practitioner. Now, you can't omo a petition a year OSP say yen no twice a kunya in free a year office of the special prosecutor with a jabe. Onia papa no dimuntin to my pa and yasin potua. Now, Enra and Oman Penny Babuntin, Ebeka Saye, says CCA petitions a hodwa. It is a edugu a year OSP any J.Mensah EC boss sono. In Yinasobia, Umanya Kpebu and Famu, Menoka say. On my penny, Etimia dismissed a petitions Nina. Now we say in a lawyer Martin Kpebu about bunting Abacasa. And Semakodo Kayan and Semre, Yamung Rum, Nian any day ever. Age politics avenue.
Now, this afternoon, the Chief Justice, Justice B.Bonnies, has determined that petitions seeking the removal of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Madam J.Mensah, her two deputies and the special prosecutor, Kpebu, do not establish a prima facie case to warrant further action. The presidency disclosed a decision in a statement issued on Wednesday, February 18, 2026, as signed by the spokesperson to the president, John Mahama, and Minister for Government Communications, Felix Kwakye Ofosu. According to the statement, President Mahama received 7 petitions from individuals and groups targeting Madam Mensah and her deputies, Dr. Bosman Eric Asare, Deputy Chairperson in charge of Corporate Services, and Samuel Tete, Deputy Chairperson in charge of Operations. 3 separate petitions sought the removal of Kpebu in line with Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution and Section 15 of the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act 2017. The President referred the 10 petitions to the Chief Justice on November 25, 2025 for preliminary determination on whether they disclosed a prima facie case for further proceeding. Under the country's constitution, such a finding is required before a committee can be set up to examine allegations of misconduct or incompetence. With that threshold not met, the removal process ends at this stage. The ruling means the Electoral Commission leadership and the special prosecutor continue to remain in office. Let's speak to private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu, who has also been very critical of the OSP and actually also petitioned the presidency for the removal of the special prosecutor, Kpebu. Counsel, I appreciate you for joining us this afternoon. Your thoughts on the decision as arrived at by the Chief Justice says that your petition and 2 others did not disclose a prima facie case against the OSP. Hence, it comes to an end here. Counsel, are you still with us? It does appear Martin Kpebu is not with us just as yet on the phone line. We will seek to connect with him and bring you details. But we know that the Chief Justice has determined that no prima facie case has been found against the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Mrs. J.Mensah, and her 2 deputies, Bosman Asare as well as Samuel Tete, and the special prosecutor, Kpebu. In all, 10 petitions went to the presidency in November of 2025 seeking the removal of the 4 persons. And as per the dictates of the Constitution, for the persons in relation to the Electoral Commission and Section 15 of the OSP Act, the President forwarded these petitions to the Chief Justice for a determination of a prima facie case. Let's get on to the phone lines again, hopeful that we have connected with private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu. Counsel, I appreciate you joining us, and I hope you can hear me this time. Your thoughts on the decision arrived at by the Chief Justice. It says that your petition and 2 others did not disclose a prima facie case against Mr. Kpebu?
Okay, yeah, no, let's make this fundamental correction. My petition cannot be part of those three that were dismissed.
Right, so yours is yet to go.
Yes, mine was presented on 11th of December.
Right.
And the president had up to 17th of December to forward it. But even by 11th of December, these three against Kpebu and the 7 against the EC chair had already been presented to the Chief Justice. So we are waiting for mine, that the mother of all the petitions against Kpebu. Let's see how it goes.
But we've seen the 3 others, which yours is not inclusive of, which we're learning of right now, all turn up in a negative, and the process has ended. Your thoughts on that?
Well, it's impossible to make any judgment call or analysis of those that were thrown out because we've not seen these petitions officially. Yes, so once we haven't seen them, we cannot comment. And perhaps what we should be looking at is that let's look at the jurisprudence. When it comes to the EC chair, etc., those ones, the Constitution expressly, and also the Supreme Court decisions say that the contents of the petition should not be disclosed. So it appears that a bloat, so we cannot see those petitions officially. But when it comes to the special prosecutor, we don't have such an interpretation. There's no decision of the Supreme Court on Section 15 of the Special Prosecutor Act.
Right.
So at least in law, the petitions against the special prosecutor, I don't see anything that bars Chief Justice from releasing those petitions so that we can analyze, because it's the law, strictly speaking. You see, that we knew we had the constitutional provisions, yet when we're dealing with the special prosecutor, and I think for good reason, because it's a fight against corruption, the parliament didn't think it wise to cover petitions against the special prosecutor. So you don't find those things that there should be a bloat on the publication of the petitions against the special prosecutor. And there's no court decision like that. So it appears to me that when it comes to the special prosecutor, we have a lot more latitude. Because, who watches the watchman? The special prosecutor is to fight corruption. So if the allegations of corruption, same, should also be made public so that people can weigh in. Perhaps maybe if there were some loopholes when it comes into the public discussion, people can, supply some of the missing loopholes, and then the case can be made.
On the part of the Electoral Commission and her deputies, should this determination by the CJ be bringing a close to the chapter on them in relation to concerns, conversations surrounding whether or not they should remain in office and all of the political discussions that have been associated with it?
Not at all. In actual fact, the fight has only just begun. I can see that other petitions will follow. No. This, I'm a Ghana. Ghanaians are not...
Doesn't that then begin to look like an abuse of the constitutionally laid down process?
No, it's not an abuse because, Martin, it depends on the evidence. Somebody can be exonerated today. Even the petitions that were presented, the very grounds, perhaps, let's say, if you presented a petition on a certain ground that, there is this procurement breach, but I didn't have the evidence to back it, and the petition was thrown out. If you subsequently find the evidence, you can reapply and then attach the relevant evidence. Let's not call anything a breach. This is what we mean by accountability. We need more Ghanaians to be vigilant. We will not call anything a breach at all. Even President Trump was impeached twice in the U.S., the U.S. president. But let's get the difference. Impeachment is different from removal.
Right.
But he was impeached twice. He was found liable for bad conduct. That's the U.S. president, sitting president, twice. And he himself is even scared that the Democrats are going to impeach him again. So please, it's democracy. It's not autocracy. There's no end. Anybody who doesn't want accountability should not accept such public offices. So there'll be more petitions. That one I can guarantee you.
Right, Council. Mawena here, by the way, on the OSP, on the OSP, we've seen what I can arguably say is a workable timeline. November, petition submitted. By February, we've seen a determination of whether or not there's a prima facie case. Yours went in December. Is it fair to expect that the Chief Justice will make a determination on your petition by next month?
Absolutely, yes. It shouldn't go past next month because I think the implementation of the Special Prosecutor Act 959, Mawina, is giving us a lot of headache. So far, it's proving that the timelines, we have a challenge meeting the timelines because even if we were to use mine, I submitted mine to the President on the 11th of December. And then the law says the President must hand it over latest by 17th. That he has 7 days to turn over the petition to the Chief Justice. So let's say even if the President turned it over on the 17th of December, then the Section 15 of the Special Prosecutor Act says that the Chief Justice has 30 days to come out with a decision. So looking at 17th of December, 30 days should be 17th of January. Today is what, 17th of February. So we are on our 60th day, double. So it appears we have a challenge. Yes, I concede that this is Ghana. We don't play with our Christmas and New Year vacations. So maybe if we want to amend the law to say that if you present a petition and there is any ensuing vacation, we should deduct it. Yes, let's do it. Then there will be certainty.
Right.
Like as we speak, when you go to court, in court we have 3 vacations. There's a Christmas, Easter, then the long vac from 1st of August to somewhere middle of October.
Absolutely.
So everybody knows. So maybe if we want to amend Act 959, let's do so. But otherwise, if we are going by the strict dictates of the law, today is the 60th day, which is way in excess of the 30 days that the Chief Justice has.
Right. I appreciate you speaking to us this afternoon, Counsel, and most certainly I know this is not the last we'll be hearing of you on these matters. That's private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu speaking to us this afternoon.
And away from that, management of the produce buying company say they have effectively and with immediate effect also began the purchase of over 70,000 tons of cocoa beans still available in this crop season. Finance Minister Dr. Kasala Toforson, in an address last week, announced sweeping reforms, including a revamp of PBC to purchase beans for onward processing in the country. Addressing the media, Managing Director of the company, Seidu Iyonye, urged farmers to sell to them and insist on receipts.
All PBC cocoa purchasing centers are now fully operational to transact business effective immediately. PBC robots, infrastructures, government backing, and transparent processes are available to guarantee remuneration for cocoa deliveries. All PBC field staffs are reminded to remain at post to facilitate a seamless collection of cocoa from farmers in the depots for certification and payment processing. Any buyer or individual occupying PBC's accredited depot or shed without the express approval of management are directed to vacate effective immediately. PBC, even in the midst of competition, is also ready to collaborate with any LBC for business, but that should be done through official means. Let's look at 2016, down the line 2024. What has been the story of PBC? PBC today cannot even boast of a single market share. We don't have any market share. That means PBC is on its knees. PBC today cannot show audited accounts. Until we came, we struggled to make sure that we had audited accounts from 2022 to date. And this shows the level of leadership from 2016 to 2024. And this shows the political will for state-owned enterprises. 2012 to 2016 was good leadership, and that made PBC profitable and it was evident with a market share of 30.8, with good audited accounts, which are verifiable. 2016 to 2024, bad leadership by the MPP administration, and that has brought PBC to a comatose level without audited accounts and no market share. These are the realities. So we want it to be clear. In an attempt to set the record straight, we don't make open blanket statements.
The subject matter, because organized labor is set to engage government and the management of Cocobod over measures aimed at addressing ongoing challenges confronting the sector. Labor leaders say the meeting will focus on resolving key operational concerns and streamlining the salary structure of Cocobod workers. Daniel Opoku reports.
Management and senior staff of the Ghana Cocobod have taken a 10 and 20% pay cut in a move aimed at raising funds to support the struggling cocoa regulator. The decision, according to Cocobod, is intended to mobilize about 40 million cedis over an 8-month period to help defray debts owed to suppliers and other stakeholders. Head of Public Affairs at Cocobod, Sam Jerome, says the salary reduction is a necessary step to revive the operations of the board.
We are looking at no less than 5,000 people. And out of these 5,000 people, the simple mathematics would give us no less than 5 million Ghana cedi savings. And we have just about 8 months. So if from now, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, we had about 8 months. So 5 million, 5 times 8, 40. So at the end of the period, tentatively, we should be saving about 40 million Ghana cedis, which is very huge or substantial.
He further disclosed that management is considering a comprehensive audit of staff strength to improve efficiency.
Already, he has called for an HR audit for him to ascertain whether the numbers put out there as being the total staff strength of Cocobod, he can determine himself that, okay, yes, you said you have XYZ number. Okay, upon the HR audit, I see that this is the number. Okay, so if this is the number, let us now deal with the efficiency of each staff of Cocobod, because there could be the possibility that people are being paid for no work.
However, Deputy General Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union, GAU, Dr. Pascal Kaba, argues that a pay cut alone may not be enough to resolve Cocobod's challenges. He is calling for broader stakeholder engagement to develop sustainable solutions to the board's problems.
There's need for there to be broader stakeholder consultation between the parties that have to do with government, Cocobod itself, and the unions in terms of looking at win-win solutions to resolve the issues. There are certain welfare issues, there are certain motivational issues, there are certain things which when the three parties sit, we can see what are the cuts we can put in place, what are the measures we have to put in place to ensure efficiency but still reduce expenditure.
Meanwhile, the Executive Secretary of the Civil and Local Government Staff Association, Clocksack Ghana, Isaac Bampuado, says organized labor will take up the matter with government and Cocobod management to ensure lasting solutions are found.
Has come about because we think there was nothing like institutional memory and the attitude that you find now, if one person comes, he will clear everybody. That is what has caused these issues. To us, is that cocoa farmers are workers and they have rights. The CEO could have decided that, okay, I agree, I want my salary to be cut. What about the farmer? As he agreed, it's a matter for negotiation. And I think organized labor, this is an issue that organized labor should wake up.
Now, Industrial and Commercial Workers Union and the General Agricultural Workers Union of TUC are demanding immediate reversal of a decision by management of Cocobod to cut salaries of senior staff. The unions say the move, which affects senior and management staff, risks creating tension within the organization.
According to the leadership of ICU Ghana and GAU, management reduced salaries of some senior and management staff by between 10 and 20% without prior engagement with the unions. The unions have criticized Cocobod's management for what they describe as a failure to follow due process, insisting that the decision was taken without recourse to the labor law and the existing collective agreement between the parties. They argue that some of the affected staff are unionized and that the unilateral salary reduction is unacceptable. According to the General Secretary Morgan Ayawene and GAU General Secretary Andrews Adokwe-Tego, the unions are demanding an immediate reversal of the decision and a meeting with management to determine the way forward. The unions warn that failure to engage them could heighten simmering tensions among workers. However, the two unions have welcomed recent reforms announced by the Finance Minister on February 12, 2026, aimed at restructuring Cocobod and revitalizing the cocoa industry. They described the government's intervention as timely and economically prudent, particularly a new financing model that will allocate 50% of Ghana's cocoa output to local processing companies to promote value addition and job creation. The unions also commended the decision to offload Cocobod's legacy debt to the Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Ghana, as well as plans to automatically adjust producer prices in line with the world market trends and exchange rates. According to the unions, these measures reflect proposals they have consistently made to government to address the financial and operational challenges facing Cocobod and the produce buying company. While expressing confidence in the skilled workforce of Cocobod and its subsidiaries, the unions emphasized the need to insulate the cocoa regulator from external pressures and partisan politics to ensure the long-term sustainability of Ghana's cocoa industry. They maintain that although they support the broader reform agenda, the salary cuts must be reversed to protect staff morale and productivity. The unions say they remain committed to working with management and government to sustain growth in the cocoa sector, but insist that due process and dialogue must guide all future decisions.
Now, the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofosu-Ejare, says government also engage a transaction advisor to package and secure a strategic investor to operationalize the Komenda sugar factory. She says the facility has been grounded due to technical and operational deficiencies, as well as outdated machinery and equipment that have prevented a full running. She revealed mounting debts have caused the factory to be disconnected from electricity and water supply.
Technical and operational deficiencies have prevented the factory from running at full capacity. The machinery and equipment of the factory have not been refurbished since construction in 2016.
We ayens mahuro timiko so channel so mame ena wa so J.Mensah e wa hasi. That's ene ye be sign Asia.